You see the sign, cash, stash, or trash? It was definitely toss it in the trash. For anybody out there, if you're bored, have a computer at home, and like to just see some things that are sometimes anything from bizarre to educational, take a look at cash, stash, or trash.blogspot. Pistol from. And we talked about this for a minute or two before we came up. That's pretty darn cool. I tell you what, you stop by the 7-Eleven on the way home this afternoon, and you just slide that up out of your pant leg and say, hey, I'd like to make a withdrawal of some gasoline and a few $1,000. It might be able to help you out. No, that's a pretty cool gun. I don't see any markings on it. You're correct on that. It's missing the rod. All right. Boy, I tell you what, I think the Pawn Stars would love to see you walk in with this one. I really do. It appears to be a pretty old pistol to me. I'm going to have Stephanie take a picture of it if she can. And as soon as she's done with that, I'll hold it back up here. But I think that's a pretty early pistol that you have. I'm going to say it's going to, just on the offhand, going to date back into somewhere into the mid-1700s. Okay? I wish it had markings on it as to who made it, but there's a very strong probability that it doesn't have any, because most of the guns that would have markings on it would either be made in the U.S. or in Europe. It's probably Middle Eastern based on the tooling and everything that I see on it. Without, and again, this is without doing any research, and I may change my mind either plus or minus after doing research on it, I'm going to say it's probably going to be somewhere around a $2,500 to $3,500 pistol. And that's without doing research on it. And bear in mind, that's just a gut feeling based on how well I like it and what it looks like, you know, and the feel of it and everything. I think it's a pretty cool pistol. I really do. Now, when you go to the garage sale this summer and you see this price for $12, are you going to buy it? Sure you are. Sure you are. But that is really a cool, cool piece. And I did not see it beforehand. I probably should have made you drag it out so I could have talked it up a little bit more. But that's really a neat pistol. And hopefully you can all see that pretty well. Great tooling all over it. It's probably, without testing it, I don't see any wear, so I'm assuming it's probably not sterling, but either sterling or coin silver. Okay? Neat gun. Very neat gun. Oh, I got to give it back, don't I? That's part of the rules, isn't it?
Can I have that towel, too?
How did you get it?
I bought it with a bunch of stuff.
You bought it with a bunch of stuff?
Yeah. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, you know what he said is absolutely true. You just bought it, you know, and sometimes that happens. Somebody's got to get rid of a pile of stuff, and you buy storage units. You know, have you ever really been to a storage unit? You know how they have the storage wars on TV? They really open up the door and you stand there and you look inside and you've got 30 seconds to figure out if you want it or not. Sometimes stuff like that is in there. More often than not, it's dirty clothes and broken bottles of ketchup and, well, stuff like that. You wouldn't believe how many pairs of dirty underwear we found in storage units. Ones, that's pretty cool too. This yours also? Another, bought it in a big group of stuff?
No. $20.
You bought this for $20? It's dated 1805, Pineville, October 18th, 1805, an original drawing by P.M. No kidding. That's pretty neat. Now, a couple of things I'll say about it is the date on it. Age doesn't always make things more valuable. In this case, it does help, absolutely helps. Just a nice early picture. What we might want to do with this is find out where this Pineville is, because more than likely it's going to be worth the highest dollar amount in Pineville, wherever that may be, whether it's Florida or North or South Carolina. I suspect it's more of a southern state than northern at this point. Based around Piedmont? Okay, North Carolina? Right. That being said, if it is from that area, I would say in that area, you might be able to get upwards of $1,000 for it in that area. In Youngstown, Ohio, I believe it would probably bring like $400 or $500 if it was properly presented, preserved properly. I mean, I'm not looking at the backing or the board that you have it on or any of that. So, I mean, and we would have to do a little bit more authentication, make sure the paper is from the right period and all of that. Assuming all those things check out, I think you could be looking at a pretty good piece. I like it real well. All right, your wash pitcher up here. Who brought me the wash pitcher? Where are you sitting at? Do you have the bowl? A bowl. No bowl. Okay. That's not necessarily bad. All right, it says it's Humphreys Brothers, England, Poppy Tunstall. Okay. These were very popular. Usually you see them with a wash basin. About 25 years ago, there was just a huge market for these. Country was in and it was hot. A pitcher and bowl, if you had had the bowl, would have brought you $350 20 years ago. Today, not so hot. You're missing the bowl, but you still have a nice pitcher. I'd say the pitcher would probably sell for about 30 bucks. If you had the bowl with it, 60, maybe 70. And a slop pot and a toothbrush holder and a this and a that. They actually had full sets that would have had 10 to 15 pieces with it. So you've only got one piece out of what would have been a very large, potentially a very large set. Popularity is down on this type. Country right now is a little bit tough. All right, let's go with my next group. I'm going to call off, whoop, as I fall off the stage. Why does any of this stuff have a value? It's insanity sometimes, really. It really is. Other than practical, usable value, I mean, when you look at stuff just for what it is, you know, certainly you could use a dinner plate to eat off of or a lawnmower to cut your grass or whatever it may be. But a lot of times, the value of this stuff, it's just like, why does it have a value that's that high? Real simple. Somebody wants it. Doesn't get any more difficult than that. This is actually pretty cool. So I mean, I'm going to call it a water vessel, but really you could put just about anything in it. Banded with the cast iron back here, kind of has like a shaker type banding on it. And I would assume that it's I'm going to say that it's most likely shaker because that's just what it appears to be to me. You bought it for $150 like 10 or 15 years ago or last week? 20 years ago, 30 years ago? No, 10 or 15. Pretty good item. Going to be, it's stated, what was the date on it? 1823? Okay. Yep, he's right there. It is right there. Okay. Pretty neat item, guys. I will say that to get the money out of it, you're probably going to have to be a little bit patient because people are going to see this and they're either going to love it or they're going to hate it. The people who love it will pay you $350 for it. The people who hate it won't give you a nickel for it. So, you know, it's going to be important to get it out there in the right place to get the optimum money out of it. I think it's just plain darn neat. And it's early, it's banded, it's got the right kind of pieces put together on it, it's got the cast iron top on it. I'm guessing this leather's been replaced at a later date. But just a really cool item. In the right price, and it's got a little damage, but nothing, you know, terrible. In the right place on the right day, you're looking at about $350 out of it. Okay?